Valentine's weekend has come and gone, and many people celebrated by taking their loved ones out for dinner. Coming up, we'll have a look at one option this holiday that gave attendees the chance to treat that special someone to a meal and help out a great cause at the same time.
Texas Tech athletics schedule was non-stop this weekend, but not all of the Red Raiders teams found success on the court or on the diamond. MCTV's Logan Lacy has the details on all of the results for Tech baseball, basketball, and softball in sports.
And one of the most successful teams on the Texas Tech campus spends more of their time supporting other Red Raiders than looking for their own glory. But that could soon change later this spring. We'll let you know what team will soon be representing a lot more than Texas Tech in a worldwide competition.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Monday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Elisabeth Herring.
And I'm Camille Jones. Valentine's Day was this weekend, and with the holiday falling on a Saturday this year, students and local residents had a few more options than normal to celebrate.
Saturday's calendar here in the Hub City included a soup and champagne supper, haunted houses, and even a professional wrestling show. But there was one other event that substituted candy and flowers for pancakes, sausage, and hundreds of gallons of coffee. On Saturday, the Lubbock Lions held the 74th Annual Pancake Festival at the Civic Center. Thousands of people came out to enjoy a short stack for a good cause. The annual fundraiser used more than 6,000 pounds of pancake mix, 41,000 ounces of pancake syrup, and 72,000 sausage links to feed a continuous line of customers. The annual event is the Lions Club's largest fundraiser, collecting almost $2 million to be donated back to the local community through nonprofit groups and organizations. Many people who stopped by on Saturday have been attending for decades, but for others it was the first time to experience the huge event.
This is a big outreach for not only what the Lions Club are doing, but to unify Lubbock in itself. It's great to see so many different people coming out to support an organization that helps, women, children, housemen, fathers alike, with all the different organizations that they donate to. So I think this is a great job for community outreach every day.
Along with the pancakes, the festival also included live entertainment, music, cotton candy, and popcorn. Local celebrities also stepped in each year to help flip and serve the thousands of pancakes cooked during the event. The Lions Club Pancake Festival takes place at the Civic Center each year in February. With the spring semester nearing the halfway point, some students are starting to think about their future job options, and one possibility may include finding a way to work for themselves. Last week, the Texas Tech Innovation Hub offered students an option to explore the possibility of being their own boss during a special event at the College of Business. On Thursday, the Innovation Hub offered the first of several planned Rawls pop-up sessions in the business building's North Wing. The session, titled From Concept to Curiosity, gave attendees an introduction to taking an idea and turning it into a startup company. Staff members from the Innovation Hub were at the event along with Rawls faculty and community mentors to network with the students. The workshop attendees were also put into groups where they were able to develop concepts and then work through the problem identification and how to take their concepts to market. If you missed Thursday's Rawls pop-up, the Innovation Hub is already planning to return for a second session in March. Pitching ideas and validating solutions is the next topic in this semester's pop-up series. The session is scheduled for Tuesday, March 24th from 3 to 5:30 p.m. in the Business Building's Fireplace Room. For more information on the Rawls pop-ups and other future events, visit innovationhub.ttu.edu.
There's a lot of food choices across the Texas Tech campus, but if you have a dining plan, you may get bored with the options available in campus food courts. Luckily, there's a way to sample different cuisine that helps support local businesses and future Red Raiders at the same time. Every week, Texas Tech Orientation Services host a food truck festival in Memorial Circle. The event features a rotating list of local food trucks who stop by campus to offer a variety of menu choices. Participating businesses fill up bus stops on the northeast and northwest corners of the circle around lunchtime. Josh Caswell with the River Smith's Chicken and Catfish food truck says he enjoys coming out to campus each week to provide Texas cuisine to the university community.
We really have a loyal following, I guess, more than anything. We have a lot of repeat customers, so that they're familiar with what we serve, and apparently they like it. I don't know. So.
Students who attend classes at buildings around the circle say the weekly Food Truck Festival has created a convenient option to discover new food and drinks without having to leave campus.
Being able to take your things to class, I think it's really nice just to have that chance to it be on campus and accessible, because some people can't go to these places off campus, so it's nice that they do come to campus.
On top of feeding hungry students, businesses who participate in each week's Food Truck Festival also donate 10% of their earnings to the university's Red Raider Camp. Red Raider Camp is a 3-day, 2-night on-campus experience that gives new students a chance to learn about the university while meeting new Red Raiders. The next Food Truck Festival is scheduled for this Wednesday from 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's been a very dry winter across the South Plains this year, and unfortunately, the snow and ice earlier this month didn't offer much help. But luckily, some much-needed rain returned to the forecast at the end of last week. So how much did we get, and is more rain on the way? Elisabeth is in the MCTV Weather Center with details on the recent storm. Elisabeth?
Thanks, Camille. Yeah, well, by looking out at our MCTV tower cam, you've never guessed that on Friday we had some thunderstorms and showers roll through the South Plains area. And we did get quite a bit of rain overall. Most of the South Plains at least seeing ½ inch of rain. Some pockets seeing up to 2 inches of rain. Here locally in Lubbock, we saw about an inch of rain out at the Lubbock airport. And technically that does put us ahead for this year by just over ½ an inch. However, we have had a dry winter as well as a dry fall, so droughts are still a concern here in the South Plains area. And to add to that dry weather, we also have some gusty winds in our upcoming forecast. Today, winds being breezy across the South Plains area, and it's going to be that way as well as you head to classes tomorrow, 8 a.m. Breezy conditions once again across the South Plains as well as here locally in Lubbock, and those winds increasing as we head throughout the afternoon. So around 3 p.m. gusts up to 40 miles per hour in Lubbock, and out in those western counties up to possibly 50-mile-per-hour gusts. So let's just say tomorrow isn't going to be a great day for a baseball hat, and maybe not even the rest of the week. Winds staying breezy to gusty as we head into Thursday as well as even Friday afternoon. Still gusts up to 30 miles per hour here in Lubbock. So something to keep in mind. Another concern with those winds is also going to be dust as well. So just make sure you're taking care of your, of course, people, pets, and plants this week. Lows across the South Plains unseasonably warm, almost 60s off the Cap Rock, but everyone else seeing 50s when normally we would be in the 30s or 40s for this time of year. Tomorrow, highs unseasonably warm once again. Aspermont, a high of 86, almost 90 degrees tomorrow. Lower to upper 80s off the Cap Rock. The rest of us seeing upper 70s, lower 80s tomorrow. And of course, those breezy to gusty winds. Lows tonight here locally in Lubbock, 54. Tomorrow warming up to 79 degrees here locally in Lubbock. So it's going to be an interesting day tomorrow with the wind and warmer temperatures. As we head into our rest of our week, Wednesday staying in the 70s, Thursday cooling off just slightly with a high of 69 and staying in the 60s as we head into our weekend. Friday, 62, copy and paste temperatures for Saturday, and then Sunday back in the 50s. Monday, starting our week off next week in the lower 60s. Lows this weekend getting back down under 32 degrees, 28 for Saturday night, Sunday night 30, and then the rest of this week is going to be lows in the 40s and mid to upper 30s. Once again, with those freezing temperatures, make sure you just take precautions, make sure we don't have any rain or anything like that coming with the forecast. And also with those gusty conditions, wear the proper clothing. Might be a good day for some sunglasses in case it does get dusty out there to protect your eyes. I'm Elisabeth, and it's back to Camille.
Thanks, Elisabeth. This weekend's rain might have caused some problems for Texas Tech athletics, but almost every team was on the road, and even though the Red Raiders may not have had home field advantage, two teams found some big success away from campus. MCTV's Logan Lacy has a rundown of the top games from over the weekend in sports. Logan?
Thank you, Camille. Texas Tech athletics had a busy weekend with baseball starting their season, softball playing multiple top 25 teams, and men's and women's basketball teams on the road in games that had a big effect on conference standings. Let's start with baseball. The Red Raider baseball team had a rough start to their season playing in the Shriners Children's College Classic at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. Tech played against Oklahoma on Friday, and although they kept the game close for a while, the Sooners pulled away, giving Texas Tech a 10-3 loss. On Saturday, the Red Raiders played Vanderbilt and got an early lead, but after an 8-run inning by the Commodores, Tech just could not keep up, losing 13-3. Sunday was a better day for the Red Raiders in the game against Arkansas, with Texas Tech even taking a lead in the 9th inning, but they could not hold on and would lose in extras 5-6. Texas Tech baseball is 0-3 after the first weekend of the season, but the Red Raiders will be looking to finally get a win tomorrow as they travel to Edinburgh, Texas to play UT Rio Grande Valley at 6:30 p.m. on ESPN+. The Lady Raiders had a big game Saturday looking to stay tied for first in the Big 12, but it didn't seem like it was their day. Tech women's basketball took a tough loss on Saturday to Oklahoma State. The Lady Raiders started the game playing pretty well, taking a 15-14 lead by the end of the first quarter, but a major collapse happened in the second quarter, with Texas Tech only scoring 9 points to the Cowgirls' 22. The second half was better for the Lady Raiders, but they just couldn't fight back from the 12-point halftime deficit, losing 75-65. The Lady Raiders have fallen to 4th in the Big 12 after the loss, but have possibly the biggest game of their season coming up as the Baylor Bears come to Lubbock on Wednesday. The game will be at the United Supermarkets Arena at 6 p.m., but if you can't make it to the game, it will also be live on ESPN+. Texas Tech softball had a near-perfect weekend out of their dominant season so far. The Red Raiders went to Clearwater, Florida this weekend to play another 6 games. Thursday was a huge day for Texas Tech as they played 6th-ranked Florida State in a rematch of last year's Super Regionals. Caitlin Terry got the start in the circle and showed out, only allowing 2 runs in a top 10 win for the Red Raiders. Tech softball played 4 more games from Thursday through Saturday, winning over Northwestern, Florida Atlantic University, NC State, and James Madison University before another top 10 matchup on Sunday versus Nebraska. Texas Tech scored first with Lauren Allred batting in Maya Davis on a sac fly in the first inning, and then Maya Davis hitting a double in the third to score Caitlin Terry. But the Cornhuskers came to play, hitting a 2-run homer and an RBI single to take the lead in the fourth and holding on to pull off the upset 3-2. Despite the loss, the Red Raiders have had an amazing start to the season with an 11-1 record with multiple wins over top 25 teams. Texas Tech softball has another 6 games upcoming as they play in the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic with their first game scheduled Thursday the 19th at 5:30 p.m. against Fresno State. All games will be available on Flow College Sports. Texas Tech men's basketball played in an electric Valentine's Day matchup versus the University of Arizona, but could they knock off the #1 team in the country? This game was back and forth from the start, with both teams having a rough shooting night, even though they were getting good shot attempts. Not much happened in the first half, with the teams being tied 32-32. The second half was a similar story, with both teams missing shots, but Arizona took a 7-point lead that looked almost impossible to come back from, especially after Tech guard Jalen Petty fouled out. But the Red Raiders found a way to claw back, and after starting the game 1 for 9, Donovan Atwell hit a clutch 3 to give Texas Tech the lead with 25 seconds left, but Arizona would hit 2 free throws to send this battle into overtime. During overtime, JT Toppin took over the game, scoring almost every possession and leading the Red Raiders to a 78-75 win to break Arizona's heart on Valentine's. The win over Arizona might be the most impressive win that any team has had all season, but Texas Tech has been doing this the whole year, being the only team with wins over 3 of the top 4 teams in the country. The Red Raiders will stay in Arizona for a late-night matchup on Tuesday versus the Arizona State Sun Devils. The game will be on ESPN2 at 10 p.m. That's all for Texas Tech Athletics. Now back to Elisabeth and Camille.
Thanks, Logan. Just as Logan mentioned, several Texas Tech teams are having some big-time success that could eventually lead to a chance to compete for a national championship.
But there's another group of Red Raiders who have their sights set on a title even higher than a national trophy. Last Friday, the Texas Tech Spirit program announced that the Palm Squad has been officially selected to represent the United States in an international competition. Tech Palm will be headed to the International Cheerleading Union World Championships this April. The competition is held in Orlando, Florida each year, and several countries from around the globe will go head-to-head with the chance to be crowned world champion. But for Texas Tech, this is not the first time the Palm Squad has been picked to compete on behalf of the USA. Tech Palm brought the trophy home to Lubbock back in 2022 after beating out Mexico in the finals of the ICU World Championships. Before that, the team won 6 national championships in Palm and Jazz at the National Dance Alliance Championships from 2017 to 2021.
So Camille, did you know that Texas Tech had a world championship team here on campus?
I did not know that, but it sounds really engaging, exciting. I'd love to see more, honestly. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, me too. I think it's great and you learn something new every day.
Exactly.
That's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you on Thursday.